The mailbox on the corner was lifted up like a leaf and hurled up Golden Street. After that, we heard another crash and the billboard on our building went down with a bang. No sooner did that come down when the telephone pole in front of our store broke off like a twig. By this time, we were all getting frightened. Mariel and I were clinging together, frightened to death.
I remember at one point being upstairs and watching the trees, and there was a stand of pine trees. It was like a bowling ball had hit them. One tree after the other was going down.
And all you could see was debris, flying through the air.
I remember one of the windows crashed in. My father nailing a card table up against the window.
And she said, "Come look," and I went out the back and I looked with her, and the back of the house was blowing away like tumbleweed.
It was terrifying, and the noise, my sister always talked about, she never forgot the noise of the wind. It was like a freight train coming through your house.
Many shoreline instruments to record wind gusts blew apart when the wind hit 100 miles per hour. The Blue Hills Observatory in Milton, Massachusetts recorded the highest official gust at 186 miles per hour. Other measurements recorded sustained winds of more than 120 miles per hour.
The wind had this moaning, howling sound, and it was scary.
It was a loud sound for a long time.
The wind was really starting to rip outside, and the teachers' cars were all parked in front of the school, and the whole street at that time was huge elm trees, beautiful trees. And due to the fact that it had rained 2 or 3 days before this came, the ground was saturated and there was nothing to hold them, so they started to come down. They absolutely devastated all the cars that were out of it. The trees fell on top of them and just flattened them.
Some of the smaller kids got really scared and sort of started to cry. So we sat down, I sat down at the piano and we played all the songs and we sang as loud as we could, and it was very dark. We had some candles because it was considered very stylish to have candles and candlesticks on your bookcase in the schoolroom. So we lit the candles, so that was a little less scary. And we just hung out there. We could see trees going down all over. The road was closed. And there we were responsible for all those children.
A storm surge pushed boats into the streets, across railroad tracks, and into yards. Witnesses reported a tidal wave 30 to 40 feet high, rolling up the Thames River and crashing ashore.
The ocean and the bay came together and just clapped everything in its path. The roof flew off of the house, the sides fell down, and the floor became like a raft. And we floated off into the ocean. And there were 11 of us on that raft, 11 people.